All right, y'all, let's talk about Cedric's HOH, which was just an insane week just to get Kenny out. So let's just cut to the chase and say Tucker got bored this week because his rivals were gone, and so he turned his sights to Quinn because he found out about Quinn's power and all of the lies and the alliances that Quinn was in. Now, do I think it would have been a better idea for Tucker to work with Quinn instead of making him an ally? Yes, especially because now Tucker has put such a giant target on his back. Now, as for Quinn, yes, it was a good idea for him to keep his power a secret because for some reason people don't want to keep secrets in this house. Two, I do think that he should have at least told his alliance, or at least the alliance that he trusts the most, because he's literally aligned with everyone. But in the end, he was able to finesse his way through the week, so no one was saying that they were going to vote him out, since he went up for America's veto as America's replacement nom. As for Cedric, he made the right decision for his game. The Pentagon Alliance is the one that he is loyal to, and that includes Quinn, so of course he wasn't going to go through with that insane plan. He warned Tucker not to go through with it, and he did it anyway, so now he has to suffer the consequences of his actions. Now, speaking of alliances, it has gotten pretty frustrating to watch these house guests as they navigate creating alliances and being in them, because you have people who are just wanting to form things, but they're waiting because they either don't want to initiate it or they're trying to see what happens, like post certain votes. Um, and then there's the fact that so many people know about all these different alliances and they're kind of not really using the information. They're just like, they know about it, and that's that. It's just very interesting to see this group of house guests and how different they are when it comes to alliances and previous seasons. I personally think that they're thinking just a little bit too much about forming the perfect group. And at this point, it's like, pick the people who you trust and who you can work with and try and work with them. And if not, then it's just not gonna happen, and that's it. Moving on, we have an official real showmance, and that is Tubina, also known as Tucker and Rubina. We do have to keep a close eye on it because Tucker is a target to a lot of people in the house. Many of them are friends and kind of like aligned ish with Rubina, and she keeps saying that she would vote him out if the time came for it, and people are kind of like iffy on whether or not she'll actually go through with it. So we'll just keep a watch on that and see what happens with them, and if she is actually able to keep that personal bit separate from the game and just do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. And before we get into the spoilers for next week, we have to end it with the Tucker tracker. Now, he almost went home this week. He risked his whole entire game to save Angela and do this whole uh exposure of Quinn and the power and everything, that it really almost sent him home. Like, if he didn't win the AI arena, it would have been not as much of a unanimous-ish vote as it was. There were people who were seriously considering taking him out, and I can't be mad at that. Like, he is a comp beast. He keeps winning the AI arena and vetoes, and he has a target on his back, and it's on his back now still. And we're just gonna have to keep a watch on it. Do I think that he's gonna last till the end? Probably not, because it's clear, like, obviously it's clear that he's a comp beast, and at some point they're gonna have to get him out, and they're already talking about it, so it's gonna happen sooner or later. And now on to spoilers for next week. If you do not want to know about the new HOH or anything like that, please peace out here. So yes, we have a new HOH, and it is someone who was HOH before, and that person is Angela, which, this is probably the most hilarious thing that could ever happen, and the season continues to be like the most ridiculously entertaining season so far. For Angela to win HOH now, with Quinn's power being exposed, he's obviously going to use it. So Angela doesn't really have any of the perks of HOH except for the room, and everything that comes with it. She doesn't get to make any nominations. She doesn't get to make any renoms. She can't compete next week for HOH. Like, but Quinn can do all of those things, and he can compete next week. The only good thing about this week for Angela is that she's safe another week and she's not going to have to sit on the block the entire time. So it's looking like Quinn, of course, is going to put Tucker up for nomination. The second one would be Mackenzie. And the third is Cedric, and he volunteered to go up. So that is why Quinn put him up. I don't know why he volunteered. Like, he shouldn't have. If he didn't volunteer, Quinn was looking at putting up Rubina. Um, and I think he probably should have done Leah instead. I don't know what he's gonna do if someone pulls himself off after veto, but we shall see. He's gunning for Tucker, so we'll see if Tucker lasts this week or not. Chelsea did her little predictions, which if you're not on the live feeds, like you should, because at least just for her predictions and observations show that she calls it. But she did her predictions, and she thinks that someone who is not on the block currently is going to go home, and that would be very interesting. Who do I think that could be? Possibly Leah. I don't know if Quinn would actually put her up, but he's like so suspicious of her and he acts like she's the greatest, but he's like, she gives me no information and I'm like so iffy about her. So I don't know. Who else could it be? Possibly Cam, because like if Mackenzie or Cedric take themselves off the block because they win veto, he probably would be like their seemingly best chance to beat Tucker in the AI arena. Although I'm not really sure if Cam will do that. He's kind of like a non-factor in every way, shape, or form. Like first it was this showman's no man's with Leah, and like now he's just like kind of non-existent, and we barely see him in the episodes. And even like on the live feeds when I watch it now, I'm like, oh yeah, he's there. Like I forget half the time. So who knows? Maybe he will be put up on the block and then he goes home because people are just like, what are you doing here? So that's all I have for this week. I guess it's a good one because Kenny is finally gone and we don't have to watch him mope around the house and complain about wanting to go home anymore. So if you have any thoughts that you want to share about this week or the coming week and what's going on in the house right now, just let me know in the comments and we can chat about it. All right, until next time.